in the last while. Like, I've only just recently got the name the Slippery Nipple. Like, what other John? There's another tavern down the road that might be called John. I might have a bartender.
Do you not remember me from a few days ago?
No, and I don't forget a face. I haven't seen you before. Like, what is your name?
I'm Adrad. I went to go up to the farm to help Billy get some chickens back.
Chickens?
Chicken?
Yes, not chickens, rabbits.
Rabbits? We don't.
Same thing, both go in a pie.
Sounds like a delicious pie. But we don't have rabbits on this island. I know that some of the farmers
ran off, and we were going to go get them back.
But I heard that some of the farmers were trying to get rabbits to see if we can start farming our own meat. I have to import my meat from the mainland. We don't have a lot of proper, not that we don't have proper, but we don't have the level of farming and meat cultivation on this island that we need. So the meat and food here is quite expensive when it comes from when people want like the proteins and the gains. Like
the processed food, the vegan stuff.
Well, we do a lot of vegetables.
Is it cheaper?
Well, we do a lot of vegetables because it's very easy to get veg, but like chicken, meat, if you want a pot of chicken, that's going to cost you a gold. And for a gold, you can get a lot of my famous bean stew. Would you like a bowl of my bean stew? It won't be ready for a while. Rabbit stew? We've never had rabbits. Like, did you not listen to me before?
I thought you said you imported them.
No, we're those. There's some farmer thinking about it, but I order in chicken and beef, but I don't have any. I'm waiting for my order. It should be here before. Well, I'm trying to get enough of it for the Harvest Festival, which I presume that's why you're on the island. The Harvest Festival is this weekend, but we don't know if we're going to have enough because there's so many other taverns and inns that are trying to bring in meat now over the next weekend, like fish. Oh, the fish! Like if only I knew how to cook fish properly. There's a good restaurant down the road. It's I think it's called Iceland, and they do this. I think they do this amazing like fish sandwich. Oh, like they've got like the bread.
My mum went there the other day,
and but. No, like I just don't know how to cook that fish. Like the last few times I've tried to cook it, we've got some of my staff very, very sick, and I just avoid it, to be honest. But if I knew how to cook that, I would be making things because we get a lot of fish on this island. Are you here for the Harvest Festival?
I'm here to return the rabbits to Billy.
Billy, Billy. Let me think. Do I know a Billy who owns rabbits?
Yes, he came in here 2 days ago.
No. Like, I think. And he goes to he shouts, Margaret, over there. Trevor, didn't he have a child there a year or two ago? Like, maybe less. What was that child's name? It was like. And she goes, oh, I think maybe it's Billy. I'm not sure. Like it could have been Billy or Charles, but I know they have another son called Lynette. And they're like he looks at you. He's like, is that the Billy you're looking for? Like, there's no rabbits on this island.
Billy, he owns the farm upon the hill.
No, the person who owns
on the cliff.
That's Trevor.
What?
Yeah, Trevor's family has owned that for generations. There's only one farm.
That's what Billy said. Oh, I'm confused now. This doesn't make any sense. He went off into the woods, found his rabbits, came back, and Billy's not here. And you're not John.
No, I am John. Billy's a baby.
You're not the John I remember.
Well, he just looks like, well, I'm sorry, but I don't know what to say.
Is there another slippery nipple around here?
I
I got the wrong one?
You can try the brothel there. You can try the brothel up the road, but like, this is the slippery nipple inn. Again, are you here for the Harvest Festival? Like, if you're looking for rooms, we only have. And he looks at a book. I've only got 3 left for the rest of the weekend. I've got some letters I have to go through this morning, so people might be trying to book in rooms for the Harvest Festival.
Have a think. I need to talk to my friends first.
It's like, okay, no
So
problem.
we're supposed to be giving.
But Adrian, was it?
Yeah.
Yes. And he takes out a tankard and he goes, here's some water. And he hands you a tankard of water. And he goes like, that's on me. And he gives you a wink.
Arr. Give me the water for. I don't
will.
understand.
I'm going to skip a little bit to the dwarf who is just finishing up tying up the rest of the rabbits. What do? You have the other 2 have decided to leave you. You have the house that you saw the gnome go to in the morning, and they've left roughly 45-ish minutes, so you know they've probably made it to town at this stage. If you were, you think you are.
Yes.
Or believe you might be, should I say.
Am I sure that the rabbits won't get away with the way I've tied them up?
What's your survival nature? Let me double check. This one, you are.
I mean, they should both be the same. No, nature is 1, survival is 3, depending on intelligence or wisdom.
You're fairly confident they won't get away. After you're also like the squirrel is has been getting very aggressive towards you, but not attacking. Every time you grab another rabbit, it gets more upset at you.
Yeah, but I don't really care about that small critter. As long as the rabbits won't be able to get away, like, without assistance, I would be happy to go towards the town, because I'm pretty sure that's where the rest of the group went.
Yeah, well, they said they were going to town. They said they were abandoning.
Yeah, exactly.
You're confident enough because they'd all have to go in the same direction. It was 50 feet of rope used to tie up, was it 12 rabbits? So realistically, there's like 2 or 3 feet of like slack between each of them.
All right. Yeah, I mean, sure.
As you get to town, you don't notice Centaur talk to him, but the town is a lot cleaner than you expect. You also you are walking past, or you could walk past if you chose to. You could stop in to where your
Do I remember where my guild were?
Yeah, they were on this rough road. They were on like that in this general direction.
I want to walk up to the house and knock on the door where my guild, where I last know my guild to be.
So as you get close-ish to it, you notice that there is a lot of like banging and like sawing and construction sounds coming from the door. The stone doesn't seem to be fully built around the wall around this building. Do you still walk up?
I still walk up. I still try and like grab attention.
Yeah, so you knock on the door, and this like gnome comes out, and he's like, sir, how are you? You must be one of the monks. You're commissioning us to build this place for you. Are you here to inspect? Are you here to? It's like, I'm very, very busy. We didn't expect you to be here for another like at least 3 moon cycles, but like the work is coming along. The work's coming along. We will have your distillery and building and living quarters and all that definitely up soon. And he seems like not nervous, but he's very like he's speaking like 900 miles an hour. It's extremely fast.
But yes, I would very much like to inspect the place.
He goes, okay. come on, come in, because like, and he says like, now, before you come in here, like, this is a health and safety zone, and he's like, completely stops or takes a deep breath and goes, this is a health and safety zone. For your own protection, we please require you to wear one of these, and he hands you like a leather cap, and he goes like, and to protect your eyes, we need to wear this, and it's one of those like steampunk goggles, and he hands you
I push his like protection away and said, if I needed it, I would be wearing my best suit of armor.
He goes like, well, sir, I can't let you into this property. So like, he's just made you like, you're a foot away from the door, and behind you can see most of the building is made. There's a little bit of, there's like one guy on the roof like putting in the last few tiles. It seems like that's basically done. Some of the stills, I just want to get the names of everything, but the stills are being made. They are finished up, or look like they're basically finished. There's someone digging a little bit of a hole for a pit underneath something.
Are you avoiding my inspection, sir?
He's like, oh. He's like, no, I'm very sorry. He bows down, and like, a gnome is a little bit smaller than a dwarf, but not by much. But like, he's bowing down as low as he can, and he's like, no, I'm very sorry, sir. Very sorry, sir. Too right. Look, and he hands like, 1 second. Can you just sign this? And he hands you a piece of paper that's completely blank. And goes, can you just sign that to say that you, at the very bottom, to say that you, it was your choice not to put armor on? And he's like,
yeah. Can I write Gimli at the bottom?
You can write whatever you like. He doesn't know who his name is.
Because that was the name of the previous guy who I knew.
Yeah, he was the guy who made the brew.
Who helped me with the brewing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can write whatever you like. He didn't ask you for his name. Yeah, you're right, Gimli. He goes. He looks at it, sees that he looks it up. He looks at you, looks at the thing, looks at you, puts it up to the sky, and goes, Yep, that's the name. And he puts it down. You don't think he can read the way he was describing the thing? He just kind of looked for a scribble and looked at you and was like, yep, that'll do. And he goes, yes, now. It's like, what would you like to see first, sir?
Well, I've been having some concerns about just the main distillery room. Is it coming together all right? He's
like, yes. So, and he starts, so you'd like to see the still first. Okay, first of all, like, this is your courtyard. Over here you can grow your grain. This place is this. And he starts describing really like mundane things. He's like, oh, sorry. You asked about the distillery room. Yes, come. So, and he's like, so you can see, and there's a few steps up into the main building. And he steps up, you step up the first, and he's like, over here you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pot stills. Like, that is where you'll do your main fermentation. Underneath you will see the fire pit. Now that we haven't fully figured out. We're thinking of moving it a few feet, but we're going to do a quick test run. Then you can see now over here we have you can't see that. That's behind the building. He goes, I will show you that in a second. But you can see that the stills are there. You have your fire pit. You have everything you kind of saw before. Slightly different location and way cleaner. Everything is there. And you walk inside and he's like, now here is it. So we haven't, and he's got like the rope down to like mark walls. Like, now we haven't built the rooms yet, but this will be your living quarters, and it's pretty much where you remember the living quarters.
When did you expect to be done?
It's like, oh, in 2 moons we'll have it perfect, but 1 moon maybe we'll have it done. But like, we're pushing very, very hard. There's lots of, we're at the little details, you know. Like, we don't just want to put up a wall and just say it's done. We would like to build the wall and then like polish the stone and make sure it's perfect, because you can
you make it done in 5 days?
We would need 100 men to get it done. If I look at it, we need, and there's like, from what you remember, there's 5 or 6 rooms in the last in the end. There's the living quarters, there's the break room.
Listen, I know it takes time to make good craftsmanship. Trust me, I'm a smith, or at least my family were. So I know about taking good time for it, but we are kind of pressed on time here. If you could get it done in like 5 days, that would be perfect. If you have to, you can take additional time, but the closer to the 5 days would be as good as possible. Yeah,
but we're not gonna have this. Like, it's like we can't have this done before Harvest Festival. Like, that's not good. Like, we can have the living quarters ready, but like, we won't be able to test your stills, and like, you can tell there is like, it's 90% there. The plumbing needs to be put in. Like, the big units are there, but like, you need to like plumb the walls or plumb the pipes together actually brew
Without
it together.
testing the equipment, can you get it done in 5 days?
It's like, he's like, we can put in some calls, but like, I don't know, sir. I don't know. I was like, that's not my call to make. I'm just the I can't think of it, but stoneworker, mason. I'm just the mason. I just do the walls. I was doing the outside walls. You knocked on the door. I opened the door. Like that's for this man over. And he kind of, it's like, ooh.
I will personally be in your favor, in your debt. Sorry, if you could get it as close to 5 days as possible.
It's like, well, why 5 days?
Because I want to see if you guys are the kind of workers I need for my next project.
But like, what project?
I will tell you more once I see what you can do.
He's like, okay,
and that would be 5 days.
He's like, you'll need to talk to Merg, and that's MERG. So he goes, 1 second, just wait here, sir. And he just starts shouting Merg really loudly and running around like you've never seen legs move so fast and someone move so slow in your life. Like he is like, it's just the legs are doing 90 and he's doing about 5 kilometers an hour. And this other gnome comes
that's
along.
like the Pixar movie or DreamWorks movie Over the Hedge, where the squirrel is running on the slippery floor.
Yeah, that sort of described.
Sweet.
And anyway, this other gnome comes along so the first guy you saw was dirty. He had like dust in his face. This one basically clean, like clean as a whistle. Clearly has never done a hard day's labor in his life, from what you can see. And he comes up and he goes, my name is Merg. Who might you be from the guild?
Gimli at your service.
Gimli. Lovely to meet you. I hear you want this done in 5 days. Now, look, I don't think it's possible to get it done in 5 days. Look, we've got 7 men here, and they work on 12-hour shifts of two men at all times, and then one day off, 1 day on for one person, where it's 2 days. So you work 2 days and you get 1 day off. Like, we would need about 20 men to get it done in 5 days, and at that stage, you're going to have to come up with some.
20 men?
Well, like it maybe not in 5 days, but you'd have to live with some compromises. What compromises would you like to live with? Like, we would not be able to stand by the water source and make sure it's pure enough for your beer, because we know you want to start making brew. Like, there's not been any proper brewery here or off the mainland for, well, as long as I can remember. And you might, if you want to make sure stills are plumbed up right and there's no leaks, then we would need time to test that. And the internal walls, like, we've only got them laid out now. It'll take a long time. It'll take longer than 5 days for the mortar to dry.
I know it will take longer than 5 days, but Mark, I'm here to push you and your crew to the limit and see if you're ready for the next project I've been assigned to.
But he's like, what compromises will you live with? You cannot expect this to be up to a perfect standard if you want it done in 5 days.
I don't expect it to be up to a perfect standard. I expect you to be as close to perfect as possible within the 5 days. You don't have to be done within the 5 days. You just have to be really pushed to the limits.
Well. Is it that you just want to live here for a few days? Like, we can create the living quarters and make sure that as long as you follow some simple health and safety guidelines and, like, you're okay with the noise, we can continue working in the background.
Do we need the living quarters, though?
Well, that's what I want to know. What do you why do you need this done?
If we exclude the living quarters and only go for the distillery itself and make the brewery working, would you be able to do it in 5 days?
And he goes, Yark! That's YARK if you want to take notes.
That was what?
Yark. He shouts Yark. YARK. He's like, Yark! He's like, and a few moments passes and this other gnome comes in. He goes, he whispers to him something, and they whisper back at each other, and he's like, and he runs off and he goes, look, if you come back to me at the end of the day, I'll have a better estimate of time. 5 days mightn't be possible to have the distillery up, but we might have it up in 6 or 7 at the most. But if we need to check this water source. Before you were here, there was a small stream of water that used to like nearby that used to pump water from. That's what you would have remembered. And these guys have clearly gone off to do something, and there was no water that you saw running as they were walking around the place. You're inside the main building right now, which just has rope down, and it's a very tall building. It's about, like, for modern construction, it's quite remarkable to see a 20, maybe 25 feet tall structure with the roof supported with the 4 walls and no internal walls or structure yet. And he goes, look. So this is Merge. Merc. He goes, look. Come back to me at the end of the day. I will certainly do my best, sir. But I asked what this other project is.
I will tell you at the end of the day then.
He goes, and he bows down and he goes, yes, that's quite all right.
I then turn around and leave, hoping to get back to them later today.
Cool. You leave. So that's like a 10-minute detour on your way back to town. It's not much. You're on the outskirts of town, and when you took over that place, or when the history that you know as you were traveling over in the boat, because now you're a salesman, you've only been there for a week or so. It was an established brewery for years and years and years and years, and it wasn't that it was run down. You made the best out of it. There were some patches needed to be done on the wall here or there. Like there were like an old building, like that you would know of today. Like it wasn't bad condition. It was like, oh, it'd be nice if there was a little more insulation in the wall, sort of thing. Like it was that sort of vibe. And what you're seeing now is construction, which is very odd. You can infer what you like from that, just so you have your own knowledge. They also never named the guild by name or anything. They just presumed you were from the guild, and
that's good enough.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I don't know where to go next, so you can play with the 2 others for now.
Okay. The 2 others, if you're done playing with yourselves, you 2 have been sitting in the inn.
Yep.
What you do in inns? You sit.
Well, you can rent a room.
Well, I've been drinking my drink, eating my food, listening to what's going on, to the chitter-chatter, picking up anything I can to figure out what's going on, why it's different.
You hear... So there's another table, and one table has a bunch of... I think they're called Eldra? I forget the name of the race. 1 second.
They're called what?
I just want to remember. They're not elves. They are... Eladrin? Eladrin? Eldrin? They're like elves.
Ladrin.
That one. And that's a table of them. And they're talking about how they can't wait for the Harvest Festival. Oh, they were here last year and it was amazing. Like when the fairies came and they did that firework thing and the sparks came from the fire and it was like, it was just so magical, and the songs and the dancing and like they're just talking about like how excited they are for the festival at the end of the week. And that's really the only table around right now. There's not many other people in the inn or tavern.
All right then. Well, okay. If that's all there is, then I'm gonna finish my drink, pocket my food, and I'm gonna wander out and start trying to see if I can just wander through the town, listening to what's going on, trying to find anyone that I might be able to get information from.
So let me just roll for that. Are you trying to do it without the wizard, or is the wizard following, or what's the wizard doing?
I don't know. When we left, I was sat at the table waiting for my food, and the wizard was at the bar, so I don't know.
Well, he came over to you then, and that's because he said he was going to go talk to his friends. So do you want to ask Adrian, are you going to mention anything to the gnome or talk to gnome, or do you have any questions for him? Like, do you want to interact with the gnome in any way after you heard all the things about Billy and John and all this stuff being weird?
John's lost weight. And Billy has gotten younger.